Alright. The opening civilization from Villese. We have Dravidians. And it does make sense 100% of course, with Dravidians having the 200 additional wood they begin with. They can go for a second archer range. If they open archers, they can go for more pressure. Liereyy, on the other hand, Liereyy civilization is coming up in a moment. There we are. I've got an intel from within the stage. Well, not the stage, but the audience. It seems like everyone's looking pretty nervous. So hopefully that's not going to trip any of these players. So we know that Villese is going for Dravidians. We know he's got that. Let's take a look to see what Lierey's got. And by the way, the game has already begun, or at the very least, that should be the case. I'm going to hop into this one in just one moment. And it seems like they are just going to jump straight into it, right? Is that so? Oh, okay, there we go. Civilization from Lierey's coming up. Is going to be indeed the Aztecs. And I already have the game at hand. So let's go for it, guys. And hopefully, let's just wait for... One second. Semifinals. And let's just jump into the game. There we are. Welcome you guys, everyone, to game number 1 in the first semi-final of the day. Liereyy and Villese will be facing each other over here. Hope you're looking forward to this as much as I am. And we see Villese immediately open up with an archer range. He's going with 2 villagers at this. Meanwhile, Liereyy, on the other hand, he's got nothing coming up in terms of military buildings. He's got just the barracks he began with, and he's got walls already on the way from the get-go. Interesting. So I guess we'll see how this goes over here. Villese will be the one trying to put pressure, and Liereyy seems to be, for the most part, interested in just playing defensive. Now take a look at this. Villese's got a scout forward. He cannot really do too much. Liereyy was able to land a free hit over there. Now Villese could potentially try and get the engagement. He's going for the heal over here, but he's going to get betrayed by it. Now Lierey's got the heal and the scout from Villese. What's going on? Why would he commit to the engagement over there? Now he's trapped. And that's gotta be first blood for game number 1. Liereyy opens up battlefield by shedding blood. The scout of Villese, and that's going to be the first loss. As Villese is prepping up his push. He's got Minotaurs and archers on the way. Thank you so much, Dan. That is probably not the correct you know, genre, but it's alright. So the Minotaurs are roaming around the left-hand side, plus the archers are here. Yeah, it's cool. I guess it's probably made an assumption of favorite streamer being female. Regardless though, here come the archers and Lierey's committed actually 2 villagers over here to get the walls up, and because he's got the foundation on the left-hand side already up, all he's got to do is just trying to reinforce this from behind, just prevent villagers from going down to the archers. But Villese is still gonna keep on putting pressure. Keep in mind that it's not just the units that he sent to open with, but also the extra units he's gonna keep on sending behind those. So we have skirmishers over here on top of the archers, on top of the Minotaurs, and he's got a beautiful army composition. Plus the fact that he's got the hill advantage over here is going to make it pretty difficult for Liereyy to defend himself. So here comes Villese. He's able to breach through. He's coming in. He was anticipating the eagle play. Now it's going to be a pretty difficult defense for Mr. Liereyy over here for sure. Meanwhile, Villese is gonna come in. He's gonna try to target the units right away. The villagers are coming into the battle as well from Liereyy, and Villese will have to bail from here, as there's just too much punching power on the Bull player for Red to do any damage with the units he's got currently available. He's got extra skirmishers coming in as well, the very least a third, but he's already taken a loss in front. And Lierey's going to have so far a much better KD, 4-1. I think Liereyy might have lost one archer, perhaps, or something along those lines, but that's gonna be for the most part about it. So it seems like Liereyy is going to stabilize over here, and yeah, Villese is getting effectively pushed away. So far, 6-1 KD. For somebody who was putting so much pressure as Villese has been so far, this is not really the KD that you're expecting to see. One thing to note though, is that Villese has managed to somehow scrap enough resources to go up to the castle age very soon, while Villese not so close. Not even close at all. Here comes Villese. It's gonna go for the counter push in a second. Let's see. Yeah. He's getting to Villese's side of the map, but Villese's defenses, they are standing strong. On the right hand side, he's already completely walled himself up. And then just on the back, he was kind of open, but now he's going to finish closing this up. And indeed, Villese is on his way to the castle age. While Liereyy, on the other hand, he's using the market right now. And he should be on his way to the castle age in just a moment as well. But he's going to be behind by a full minute. And actually, a little bit more than that. It's going to be like a minute and a half or a minute and 20 seconds. Vilese's got to be careful. He does have the Minotaurs over here, against which Liereyy does not want to engage with the Eagle Scouts, of course. And then because he's got just skirmishers, Liereyy that is, to reinforce these Eagles with, it's quite clear that it's not really possible for Liereyy to take a cost-effective engagement over here unless he was able to completely... There we go. Oh boy. Yeah, unless he was able to completely avoid the Minotaurs and just target the skirmishers, but it wouldn't be too easy to do now. The Minotaurs have come in from Villese. He's inside Lierey's base. 2 Minotaurs. He cannot really do too much though. He's got the Lone Swordsman upgrade coming in as soon as he gets to the castle age, but he's been taking some losses over here. He's gonna try to break through, and I think he's gonna be able to do it. The gate's open now. The Minotaurs are coming in. 20 seconds away from the Lone Swordsman upgrade, which will improve these units quite a bit. Now he's finally going to finish battering the gate down, and Lierey's going for extra walls in between the houses over here, the palisades, just to try and prevent the Minotaurs from coming in, or at the very least forcing them underneath the TC, which is obviously something that Villese does not want to do right now, so he's just going to stay behind. But these Lone Swords, they are doing heaps of damage, and take a look at this. It's only going to be 4 Lone Swords, but they are taking the house so fast. Forcing another one from Liereyy, and all the pressure is coming up from Villese really nicely as he goes for the Eagle Warrior upgrade. Elite Skirmisher and Balkan Arrow. Lierey's gonna try and defend against Villese's relentless pressure, and it seems like Villese should be able to breach through the next house over here straight into the wood line. So Lierey's gonna have to either go for extra walls, which he does, or pull the villagers away and go towards the wood line up in the north, which he already has a lumber camp for. But it's going to be the extra house over here instead, and we'll see if Villese keeps on committing to this. It seems like he's gonna keep on going for more Lone Swords. He's doing really well so far. There we go, 4 siege workshops on the way from... what am I talking about? This is a front siege workshop coming in from Liereyy and Villese. Villese is just gonna keep on committed to Lone Swords. Let me take a look though, because on the other side, Lierey's already started sending some of the Eagles to try and overwhelm Liereyy. This is something that I always advocate for. Just go for multiple Eagle armies, multiple small armies, as opposed to going for one big army. That's the whole idea. You have mobility, you can overwhelm your opponent, but all you gotta do is just find an opening, just try to breach through. And now if Villese is paying attention, he's going to take care of this, and it seems like he will. He's got a TC coming up towards the south where Lierey's trying to get in with one of the Eagle Warrior armies, and then on the right hand side, Villese is going to go for extra walls over here as well, with the house foundations coming in, just in time to prevent the Eagles from doing much of anything. Meanwhile, forward, it doesn't really have too much pressure going on anymore. It's got the Lone Swords roaming around the left hand side, and then the rest of the units is going to have on top of the hill, as well as his own elite skirmishers. Lierey's bringing a Mangonel over. At this point in time, Villese's got 13, actually 11 Lone Swords and 2 additional Lone Swords on the queue. He's gone for a few more. He's got a few more queued up. It's going to result in about 15 or so Lone Swords. He doesn't end up losing a few over here to the skirmishers, but he does take the Mangonel down, so that's going to be cost effective for Villese. However, losing the skirmishers over here to the Eagle Warriors, while the Lone Swords are completely out of position, is not gonna be so in Liereyy. He gets the hill. He gets the hill and he starts pushing. Well, Villese only has some Lone Swords forward that he's not really paying attention to, and doesn't seem like he might be able to do too much damage with. And Lierey's paying attention over here, so he will take care of the Lone Swords, although it's going to come at a price. Might actually end up losing more than one villager over here, by the looks of it. Yeah! They are surrounding the Lone Swords, man, but this is like watching Spearmen fighting Teutonic Knights. Obviously, the villagers do take a long time to take the Lone Swordsman down, and that's going to result in a few losses for Liereyy. So far, despite the KD in general being favorable for Liereyy, Eco KD has been much better for Villese at 6-1. Doesn't now getting pushed away from here, though. Taking a look at the south, we do see one villager going down from Villese, and it seems like we might see the same situation take place over here for the red player, losing 2 villagers trying to clean up the Eagle Warrior, but ultimately clean up the units from Villese or from Liereyy before he takes too much extra damage. The hills over here for Villese. He does have more Lone Swords coming out. One thing that I wanted to take a look at, though, was the barracks count, and it seems like he's producing just from 2 barracks by the looks of it. Yeah. Here we are. Monks coming over from Liereyy. Maybe this is trying to target the monk, and he takes it down with skirmishers. He keeps the Lone Swords alive over here, but the skirmisher numbers from Liereyy are just so much higher. Doesn't seem like yeah, Villese will be able to keep on going. He calls a GG. He runs out of army straight out, calls a GG. Let's go through the achievements really quickly over here before taking a look at the mainstream once again. What do we get for... Okay, so that's going to be 1-0 in favor of Liereyy. What do we get for the KD over here? Better than 9-to-5 KD ratio for Mr. Liereyy. We're going to see for Villese as well a little bit of a struggle over there for sure. Oops, sorry about that. A little bit of a struggle over there for sure. Then taking a look at the economy on the other hand. We're going to see a much stronger economy, of course, for Liereyy in the end. Well, not really that much stronger. It's just going to be a pretty small difference overall. And for society, on the other hand, what do we get? We're going to see a little bit of a higher villager count for Villese. Actually, he had a stronger economy on paper compared to what was available for Liereyy for sure. So let me just take a look at APM over here as well. One more time. So the APM was decidedly higher for Liereyy, but not by a long shot, not by too much. So let's just go back. Now let's take a look at the main feed. With Aztecs out of the equation and Dravidians out of the equation, we have Saracens, Britons, Lithuanians, Gujarats, and Ethiopians available to Liereyy. Vilese's got Bulgarians, Berbers, Franks, Byzantines and the Hindustanis. I cannot imagine game number 2 taking too long to begin. So I'm just going to queue up to join it as soon as it begins. All the settings are correct. For capture H, that is. Let's try to be done with the commercial right away as well. Yeah, for some reason this is not really working. So I'm just going to play it by hand. For the maps, then I guess we're gonna see one of the home maps from Villese come up. So he had Kawasan, which I did find very interesting. And what is the other one that he had? Oh man, I cannot recall right now. I guess the draft's going to come up on screen in a moment. One more time. See? Alright. So what civilization do we have for Mr. Villese? He's got Hindustanis coming in for game number 2. Hindustanis for Mr. Villese then. And now Liereyy. Well, Liereyy still got Britons. Still has Ethiopians. He does not have Aztecs anymore. The pick for Mr. Liereyy is gonna be Saracens. Alright. I'm hoping that they're already in game, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to jump into it in just one moment as well. We are actually in the game already. I'm just going to wait for them to switch over as well. There we go. Just go 1x as opposed to full throttle. And welcome you guys, everyone, then to game number 2. Fantastic. We have the webcam views. One more time, and taking a look at the left-hand side. See Liereyy playing with the Saracens. Villese on the right-hand side, playing with the Hindustanis. Is going to open up with an archer range, though. This is not the Indian civilization. This is Hindustanis, so archery is not something that he'll be able to smoothly transition into something else in the future to speak of. So let's take a look at the left-hand side instead. What do we have from Mr. Liereyy? He's got the market on the way. Yeah, not much else. It seems like he's just gonna play for the castle age. I mean, he does have one archer range. He's going for archers, but he's in the market pretty heavily, so he's gonna be on his way to the castle age much earlier compared to Villese. Is this a 1-2 punch move from Mr. Liereyy? Villese instead. He might be able to go up to the castle age sometime soon, but it's just going to be depending on his resource collection rate. He's kind of far away in terms of food available right now to click up to the next stage, while Liereyy is already well on his way up. Of course, he had to sell the stone, but this is just the way Saracens go, and this is not really something that you should be surprised about, of course, seeing from Saracens. While Villese, on the other hand, is probably still going to be kind of caught off guard, I imagine. The problem for Villese is that he's going for skirmishers right now as well, so that delayed his uptime even further. And the head start to the castle is going to be pretty massive for Liereyy. Plus the fact that he's been going for a good amount of archers. You know, if he gets the crossman upgrade over here, we might see a pretty quick one. Hopefully that's not the case. I'm hoping for a longer game and I'm hoping for a full series over here. But to be 100% honest, I think Lierey's got it in him to potentially make this a quick one if he plays his cards right. He's got a stable coming up as well on the left-hand side in front of his base. So it's going to be archers, it's going to be knights! Crossbows and knights! Ultimate army composition in the Castle Age. The analog of scouts and archers, of course. Let's see. Castle Age is gonna be here in a minute and a half for Villese. But it's coming up already from Liereyy, who's sending the archers forward already. We have the crossman upgrade, blocking our upgrades, coming in right away. Should be able to prevent Villese from reinforcing the walls behind the palisade. So Villese is going to go for a preemptive tower over here. He knows what to expect. And this is a great play from Liereyy as well. He was heading straight for the gold. He knew exactly where it was. If you take a look, each player is going to begin on just 2 tiles. So realizing Lierey's goal location over here and putting pressure is massive, and now the tower's not coming up on time. Lierey's taking 2 villagers down already. After taking the spearman down, that's going to be a flawless opening for Liereyy. Villese, as a matter of fact, has lost 4 units so far, only 3 of which went down to Lierey's unit. So this is really rough for the Finnish player. And as I was fearing, Lierey's just played this perfectly and does end up pushing Villese completely away from gold. Market's on the way now for Villese as well. And boy oh boy, the knights are coming in as well. So we have scale bar than armor from Liereyy, +1/+1. If he manages to somehow scrap +2/+2, I just don't see a way for Villese to hold on against this kind of army composition. I mean, he's got camels on the way, which is good. His stand is there, going to attack 25% faster, whatever. But man, the archers, the crossbows from Liereyy should be able to take care of camels, and then the knights should be able to take care of skirmishers, and with good unit control, which we all know that Liereyy is more than capable enough to do. And yeah, Liereyy should be in a pretty good spot. Villese doesn't have deleting the tower foundation over here. Does not have enough tower to go for. Does not have enough stones already left to go for another tower. So he's gonna have to utilize the market over here in order to afford another one. But his economy is just on the brink of collapse. Take a look at the resources. Take a look at the village distribution from Villese. 0 villages on gold. Just enough food to keep the TC working. And queuing a few camels over here. Meanwhile, Villese has got more archers on the way. He has not really gone for any extra knights, and I'm wondering if Villese, or actually if Liereyy, is going to consider adding a monastery into the mix to start going for monks. That is not the case, no. He's trying to defend himself, but Liereyy is doing a really good job. Going for this. Taking the archer range down. No more skirmies for Villese. Does he have any extra archer ranges? Nope. That was the only one. So he's got a barracks and a stable right now, and that's about it. Which means, once again, if Liereyy micros the unit properly, he should be able to take care of everything that Villese has got available right now, and Villese is forced into another archer range. He's back on gold. I do not understand why Liereyy stopped putting pressure over there. He could have kept at the very least 1-2 crossbows. You know that with Lierey's APM, he should be able to pretty easily control more than 1 army group at a time. And if he just kept 2 crossbows up in the north, he would have been able to deny this even further up until this point, potentially. There we go. Second TC is on the way now on the right hand side from Villese. We take a look at the TC count from Liereyy, and he does have 2 TCs as well. So both players are going for some extra economy over here, but so far Villese has fallen behind a little bit, and Liereyy is looking very strong in that regards. Now let's take a look at the engagement over here. This could be a big one. We see the skirmishers over there being pushed away by the knights. We have the hill advantage over here as well. The cameras did not want to engage against the knights either because of the crosses on the back, and we still have the hill for the crossbows. So Villese gets pushed back. Now it's trying to turn around and take the engagement, and the camels! They're going down, and Lierey's dominating the engagement. He's not going to commit to the fight over there too much, as the TC was there, and Villese managed to survive one more time, but it seems like every time it's just harder and harder for Villese to keep on going. Now Villese will have to face camels as well. Lierey's army composition over here is one that will be extremely difficult for Villese to take care of, and we do see a nice quick wall over here from Villese, and he traps Liereyy. Both these camels should be going down to Villese's own camels as they do attack 25% faster. Well done, well done. Nobody has gone for bloodlines just yet, so it's just going to be a matter of attack speed, and Villese does get away with a nice play. Here we go. Villager goes down over there from Villese again. Fourth villager, fifth villager down. Villese right now as well. Taking a look up in the north. There's a 30C on the way for Mr. Villese. Oh, and Lierey's going for the 4C workshop. I love to see this. It's not only going to be great to put pressure against Villese's gold, which, you know, has been a sore point around Villese's base, but it's also going to be great to put pressure against the extra TCs that Villese is going for on the right hand side, especially when you notice the fact that Liereyy is kind of cutting both Villese's bases off. So it's not really possible for Villese to send any units up in the north over here without engaging into Lierey's army or running into Lierey's army. So we see another big engagement coming up over here. Once again, the army composition is so much better for Liereyy. The military count is so much better for Liereyy as well. He's got a higher working count as well. Everything's looking so good for the Bull player and Villese. Villese does have a chance of catching up in economy though, mind you, by having an extra TC on the right hand side, but that's going to be about it. Hold on. Beautiful. Yeah, there we go. Villese is finally able to push Liereyy away for the time being, but it might be a bait though. Lierey's bringing the magnet over there. That's gonna be a great shot against the monk. He pushes Villese into his base once again. Villese is gonna try to get the conversions over here. He's got 2 monks left still. Gets 1 conversion for sure, but the magnet's coming over. The skirmishers cannot engage, and the numbers still favoring Liereyy quite a bit. The crosses over here are dominating the camels from Liereyy. Villese's defenses struggling big time. And Lierey's push over here, absolutely amazing. Certainly looking kind of unstoppable. Second Manuel on the way. He's got the hill advantage to take on the second TC. There's another one coming up for Villese on the right hand side. Unfortunately though, he kind of relies on both these TCs up in the north to get access to gold. So it's extremely important for Villese to keep these TCs up. He's got a siege workshop, a defensive one that he's gone for, to try and defend against Liereyy, but you know, man, against 2 Magnus over here with the hill advantage, Villese's TC is not going to last for too long. And he's got his own Magnus on the way, but it's only at 35% or so right now, so if Liereyy keeps on putting pressure, should be able to take the TC down in a moment. He's forcing the Reapers over here though from Villese. Here we are. And the mountain comes out, but Lierey's reaction is almost perfect. He gets the mountain down as well, so he gets the TC, he gets the mountain down. Now he's bringing the units back. If he can defend the siege, he should be able to go after the second TC, so we'll see. He just got the hill advantage over here, but that's a huge shot. The skirmishes are going down, and Villese calls it GG as game number 2 goes in favor of Liereyy. That's gonna mark the 2-0 Wow, less than 1 hour into it, Liereyy is dominating in Villese. Villese is gonna need to collect himself because this is not great. Yeah, for the red player, and you can see his reaction over there. You can see Lierey's reaction as well. Let's go through the achievements really quickly over here. We have for military, that is just a nasty KD for Liereyy. 2-1 economy, a stronger economy for Liereyy as well, collecting 3,300 extra resources. The working count was about the same towards the end of the game, but of course Villese did end up producing a few extra villages and losing a few extra villages as well. Alright. Guys are getting ready for game number 3, but so far it's been pretty decisive, you know, decisive for Liereyy. I imagine the guys are probably required to wear noise cancelling headphones for this one, because honestly I can't imagine the audience being just so loud over here and potentially distracting as well. I'm not really sure. I imagine they probably have for the audience right now a speaker system as well for the casters, right? And yeah, obviously they want guys to hear what the other players got available, that kind of stuff, so they kind of have to wear the over-ear headphones. But yeah, so we saw already Outcrop, and for game number 3 it could technically be Enclosed or Arabia, but we're most likely not going to see Kawasan, if history is to be believed anyway. From what we have seen throughout the series earlier on in the tournament, we have players more often than not, actually 100% of the time so far I believe, going for their own home maps, even though the home maps are shared. Civilizations are player specific, of course, but the home maps are shared, so technically Villese could go for Arabia or Enclosed. I'm not really sure if he's feeling too confident though. Dravidians, Hindustanis not working out, 2 strong civilizations. He's got Byzantines, he's got Franks, he's got Berbers, he's got Bulgarians. Liereyy still has Britons, he still has Ethiopians, Lithuanians, amazing civilizations. Lithuania specifically on something like Kawasan could be very strong. Britons could be really good on Arabia. Ash mentioned the players had noise cancelling headphones plus in-ear monitors. I guess that makes sense because I see right now there are 2 cables kind of dangling. Vilese's head over there. Yeah. And that's the case also for Liereyy. Wow. That's amazing. Byzantines coming in for Villese. One of the strongest civilizations he had left. Beautiful cataphract over there. Meanwhile for Liereyy, guess we are going to find out. Let's take a look. I noticed there's a little bit of a delay between the video feed and the game starting over here, so I'm just going to try to adjust for that. Alright, and the civilization coming in from Mr. Liereyy. It's Lithuanians. We're gonna jump into the game right away, guys. We don't want to waste any more time. Let's go for it. There we go. The webcam feed. Oh! Bot villager. Well, let's go back, I guess. So that's why we never saw the main feed jump into the game. Love the way the Liereyy just stares into my soul right there. Not something we have seen from Villese too much. I'm telling you, the production value for this one, compared to last year's, is just amazing. I'm kind of wondering if the guys are the same people that organized Red Bull Wololo and Throne. Because this just seems next level compared to that. I know the map was the Observer, but I guess that's not necessarily going to be, you know, tied to the same company. I'm not really sure. If any of you know, do let me know. Next game starting right now as well. Let's go, Villese, man. I want to see more games. Don't want this to be a 3-0. Interestingly enough, Vilese's got higher elo in-game compared to Liereyy. Just a fun fact over there. Oh, sorry. Guess we can just go into it right away, right? Yes, let's go. Game number 3 is here. The webcam feed is going to update in just a moment, but we have Lithuanians versus Byzantines. I was expecting to see Lithuanians from Liereyy for sure, and Byzantines certainly a good civilization choice over here for Villese. There we are. Let's go! And Liereyy Lithuanians then will get 150 extra food upon beginning the game, but we see from the get-go already a little bit of pressure as Villese is trying to target one of the villagers from Liereyy, and he's unable to do enough damage over here. And Lierey's reaction was incredible as well. While he moved the villager back towards the TC, he fought back, so Villese's scout now is left on almost no HP, plus he ended up taking one hit from the spearman over there, so it's gone down to 6 HP, and now Lierey's scout is in a much better position. Because Villese is opening with an archer range, as we can see archers already on the queue for him, it's quite clear that we are not going to have any extra scouts coming out over here. Meanwhile, Liereyy, on the other hand, he doesn't really have any extra military units coming out at all. He's got the market on the way instead. Is Liereyy going to go for the same thing he went for in the previous game? Just go up to the castle ASAP. You know, he does begin with 150 extra food, so it's not going to be too difficult for him to get away with something like that. If he sells the stone right now, should be very close to having enough resources to click up to the castle edge. He can buy already some food from the gold that he's got, and he did end up taking out the scout over here from Villese for sure, so that's going to be 1-0 KD in favor of Liereyy. But Villese, what does he have? He is going to be the only player going for what? Now, that's another unit going down from Villese. So far, the engagement's been going in favor of Liereyy, but with Vilese's dog down the south over here, he should be in a pretty good spot to get water control, potentially benefit from that, grow an economy substantially more so compared to what's going to be possible for Liereyy. And there's the thing about this map. There is more than one way to go about it. You can go for the center berries, you can go for the water, you can go for aggression, you can go up, right? And Liereyy is going to choose to go up as he sells the stone. He balances his economy, utilizing the market, and he's on his way to the castle edge. While Villese, not there yet. He's not too far off though. He's using the market right now, selling the stone, and he's going to be on his way to the castle edge. He might have realized Liereyy was on his way up as well, and now both players on their way to the castle edge. We do have a head start of 55 seconds favoring Liereyy, but it's not too much. And the fact that Villese is going to be the only player going for water makes this a much more competitive situation compared to what we had in the previous games. It's finally a position where, yes, Liereyy is going up earlier, but Villese will have a stronger economy at the very least. There we go. Lierey's defense, consisting of skirmishers over here, should suffice against whatever Vilese's got available at this stage. Archers, skirmishers, spearmen will crumble to skirmishers. Now Lierey's got double monasteries! You know, he wasn't really that heavily on gold, so we wouldn't have been able to call it right away, but he's got double monasteries over here. Now, what I'm very curious about, though, is will Liereyy make a play for a smash over here? So add some siege into the mix and go for the monk and siege push, or is the double monastery play just so that he can secure the relics and prevent Villese from taking any of the relics over here? Because you gotta keep in mind, Lierey's civilization gets a bonus by which his knights and Liereyy units get 1 extra attack per each relic that he manages to garrison inside the monastery, up to 4 relics. So if he does end up getting 4 relics over here, even if it's not as much, right? Even if he just plays for economy, it's still going to guarantee +4 attack on knights already, and potentially Liereyy once he gets a castle up. So that could be really strong. We'll see what he goes for. Right now he's got a 2nd TC, so it's quite clear it's not going to be as much. It's not going to be full aggression. Instead, it's just going to be for the relics, which makes 100% sense. Meanwhile, Villese has got full camel production over here. No 2nd TC on the way at all. He does have a siege workshop though on the way in front of his base, underneath the center mount. And then down south, he's been taking advantage of fishing. He does have a 6 worker lead so far from the 6 fishing ships against Liereyy. And Liereyy does manage to get the 2nd TC up over here. So unless Villese keeps on going for extra fishing ships, or goes for another dock up in the north, or goes for a 2nd TC and starts pumping villagers himself, eventually the fishing ship lead is going to kind of fall off, as he won't really be able to effectively keep on going for more fishing ships over there in an efficient manner. Like, he's going to be able to go for the units, but they are not going to be too efficient once the fish runs out. So he does have more fishing ships on the way, but only the 8th, and doesn't seem like he's going to queue any extra fishing ships over here anymore. So this would be a good time for Villese to try and get a 2nd TC up and prevent Liereyy from catching up in worker count. Otherwise, in about 4 minutes or so, Lierey's going to be there. Mangonel's already out for Villese and Liereyy. Yeah, Lierey's just sitting pretty over there. He's got a stable with a knight. He's got 4 monks. The 5th monk's on the way as well. He's got redemption, so he should be able to defend against the Mangonel. And he's just finished researching. He's going for the camels. He's gotta go for them. And now he's got the Mangonel targeted. Then Villese is going to lose the Mangonel. All the pressure over here, the extra investment just not working out. That's the monk going down for Villese. Does not losing the Mangonel over to Lierey's monks, and now the siege workshop's gonna be on the fire. Let's take a look. There is a good shot over there from Villese, but he is gonna be forced into deleting his 2nd Mangonel to prevent Liereyy from converting it over once again. And this has been so far so good for Liereyy in terms of center control, the relic control as well in Villese. Well, he's managed to stay ahead in worker count by 7 workers, but once again, unless he goes for an extra TC, that's not going to be the case for much longer. You should be able to catch up in not too long from now. All players completely walled off, so these camels cannot really do much of anything. Very good reaction over there, swift reaction from Liereyy. Should be able to get the walls up. There you are. Absolutely fantastic. conversions coming in, forcing the archer range to be deleted by Villese though. Man, Lierey's just been playing extremely well today. Absolutely flawless gameplay over here from the Bull player, and it's been so hard for Villese to keep up. You know, all the losses, the Siege Workshop over here. Villese had to delete, the archer range he had to delete. The monastery over here is getting taken down. Yeah, there we go. You know, military count right now favoring Liereyy. Military value favoring Liereyy big time. And Villese seems to be crumbling. Game number 3. This is not what I wanted to see. This is not what anybody wanted to see. Not a quick 3-0, but it seems like it might be what we'll get. Lierey's got the monks going down over here without taking too many losses. Only one knight converted, and now he's pushing underneath Villese's only TCs. Still lacking extra TCs from the red player. Villese cannot approach this. There are too many monks. My lord. For Siege Workshop now from Villese. So he can start putting a little bit more pressure against Villese and potentially taking the TC down. And boy oh boy, has this been one-sided so far. Liereyy is completely ruthless over here. Completely unforgiving in Villese. Villese's lost the villager lead. He's lost the worker lead. Having 8 efficient ships over here is not going to suffice anymore, as Liereyy was able to catch up. Despite getting a little bit of extra idle TC time compared to Villese, the fact that Lierey's been on 2 TCs for the longest part of the castle age means that it was meant to happen. It was inevitable. Unless Villese went for extra TCs himself, but it's just not been the case, and now he's going for military fully, but doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. Doesn't seem like it's going to suffice, and Liereyy is approaching with everything he's got. He's got a ram over here, so he's got some siege. He's got the monks to convert the camels. And if you take a look at the monk count, it's going to be 7 for Liereyy versus only 1 for Villese. And even though the red player has got a monastery over here, he does not have any monks on the way. He's just being focused on full military production with Crossos and camels on the way. But here comes the push. It seems like Liereyy does not want to wait anymore. He's got the camels in front over there. He's going to try to get the conversions. He does not lose in a few of the monks over here to the Crossos, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough from Liereyy. He's coming in. Villese's defenses are just not enough. They're just not enough. And Lierey's taking the engagement underneath the TC. And all the military from Villese is crumbling. Liereyy gets to the base of the TC with the ram. He's got knights over here taking on everything. And that's gonna be GG. 3-0. The first semi-final is going to be a quick one. And an extremely one-sided one, as Liereyy ends up moving on to the grand finals over here, and Villese never stood a chance. The performance from Liereyy for this was out of this world. Absolutely flawless performance, and take a look at this reaction. Take a look at this reaction. That was absolutely golden. Let's just go back, guys. You take a look at Lierey's smile over there, and he's gotta be extremely pleased with his performance. You know, despite the fact he actually won one of the previous Red Bull Wololo tournaments, it's proven kind of elusive for Liereyy, the LAN ones, of course. It's been the case that he got to the grand finals of last year, so Red Bull Wololo 5. But this is going to be probably his best chance at taking a LAN Red Bull Wololo over here with the Viper already out, taken by Liereyy himself in the quarterfinals. Now, his main, I guess probably everybody's gonna be expecting to see a Liereyy versus Hera grand final. Of course, we still have the second semifinals to go through, and It could very well be the case that Tato clutches it up and moves on to the grand finals. We'll see what we get. But I think most people will probably more often than not be expecting the Liereyy versus
Congratulations, Liereyy. 3-0. You are looking strong. And your Age of Empires play doesn't look too bad either.
Yeah, you know, I could get used to this, honestly.
Tell us how you're feeling after that final game. What was with Redemption? What was your thought process there?
I had some strats prepared, you know, that map. I obviously expected him to watch it, so I kind of took one step further and just went skirms. Yeah, I just countered him, so that's it pretty much.
I think game 1 and game 2 we saw some skirmishers play as well. Do you think that perhaps skirmishers need to be nerfed? Are they too strong?
What would NBL do then?
In the first game, you also did manage to secure the Aztec pick, which historically was often banned in the tournament. How did you feel getting that civ?
Pretty good. Obviously, it's one of the best civs by far, as a reason why everyone bans it, why everyone first picks it, and I did it as well, you know, it worked out.
Well, you played phenomenally well here, and it was a really big joy to watch. In the second game, Saracens versus Hindustanis, were there any points where you felt that you didn't have this game, or did you feel in control the whole time?
After the tower, I felt pretty confident. Obviously, lost some vills, lost some idle time, no gold, had to adapt a bit, so after that, I felt pretty smooth.
And what about in the first game when the man-at-arms came into your base? Did you suspect the second Rax, or did you think that was the starting Rax when you saw it first?
That was the second Rax? That makes sense, actually.
Well, that would answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the 3 militias, so that helps a lot. Otherwise, you know, who knows how I would have handled it. And I would have probably had to buy towers or something, because I was going to be fully walled either way, so I think I had some chances, nevertheless. But obviously, I saw the militias obviously helped.
Well, we will wish you the best of luck, whether you're up against Hera or Tato. Do you have someone, would you hope to be against your teammate, I'm assuming?
Would be something spicy, you know, like the third rematch. I mean, obviously, friends of both, so obviously the better one should win, but would be something.
Well, we'll look forward to watching it for sure. We will take it over to the analysis, so take it away.